and all the ladies, it's much harder to stay home and send somebody that you love to the battlefield than to go to the battlefield. I bow down to every one of you for what you go through on a daily basis. Well, yoga… There was a time when, just 25 years ago, Coca-Cola was more popular than yoga. Really. If you went to an Indian village and asked them what is yoga, they wouldn't know. But what is Coca-Cola, everybody knew. I'm saying the power of marketing and how we missed out for a long time, that we never presented ourselves well, we never marketed ourselves well, because a whole lot of incompetent people have this problem with marketing. They think if you market something that is good, you will end up as a laundry soap or something like that. Laundry soap is good, at least it cleans you up. So, today we can say, globally, the word yoga, even if most people have not practiced yoga, the word yoga has fallen into everybody's ears. The International Day of Yoga has made yoga prevalent in 192 nations. Today, wherever you go in the world, including Indian villages, there is nobody who has not heard of yoga. They might not have practiced yoga. So what is this yoga? Is it about twisting, turning, becoming, into various postures which makes you look like a leftover noodle? The last piece of noodle that you leave, like that. No, the word yoga means union. When we say union, here we sit, as you're all breathing?
Yes.
Just a question, hello?
Yes.
You're all breathing?
Yes.
So if you're breathing, don't take it for granted because one day you will not be. Hello? One day you will not be. Today we are breathing. When we breathe, what you exhale, the tree is inhaling. What the tree exhales, you're inhaling. Now, if you know this intellectually, it's not enough. If you sit here and really experience that this tree is actually an extended part of your lung. It is? Is it part of your breathing apparatus or no?
Yes.
If you felt that, as you're feeling this body, if you felt this tree as an extended part of your breathing apparatus, after that, do you need any teaching what to do, what not to do in this world? When you experience everything as a part of yourself, you don't need morality, you don't need ethic, you don't need all this nonsense, what to do and what not to do. Anything that you see as a part of yourself, you will do your best for that. There is simply no question. This is yoga, that you experience the world as yourself. So if you experience the world as yourself, then we say you're a yogi. That means for you, you have consciously obliterated the boundaries of individuality. This is a privilege that we are misusing. See, whether we get it today or another day when somebody buries us, I'm sorry, I'll bless you with a long life, but you're all dying kind only, right?
Yes.
Hello? Am I talking to mortals or immortals? Mortals. Nobody is negotiating mortality. We are only negotiating little more time. Am I correct?
Yes.
We're only negotiating little more time. We're trying to kick the can for tomorrow, another day, not today. Nobody is negotiating whether to be mortal or immortal unless you're a bloody fool. Hello? There have been many idiots like that in the past. Fortunately, all of them died. If they had lived, we don't know what the condition of the world would have been. So, this aspect of our life is not a philosophy, not an ideology, not my thinking. This is the way existence is. Everything is happening as one large phenomena. Will we get this today? When we walk on this earth, what you call as soil and what you call as myself are not different. If we get it now, we can live a life of enlightenment. Otherwise, one day we'll get it from the maggots. That is also good because you become good manure, but not good for you, good for the soil, good for the world. If you're such service-oriented that your own well-being doesn't matter, you can get it on that day. But if you get it today, it will make a world of difference. The very way you experience life, the very way you craft your life, the very destiny that you craft for yourself will alter itself if you simply know that who you are is not limited to the boundaries of this body. So, the whole process of yoga is this: how to experientially, not philosophically, not ideologically, not intellectually, but experientially know that the air I breathe is me, the water I drink is me, the food that I eat is me, the soil that I walk upon is me. To know this experientially, you have a general who is a so, to know your Vishwarupa, that your existence here is a large phenomena. But nature is so kind, creation is so kind, it has given us individual experience. 60% of your body itself is microorganisms, only 40% is your parental genetics. But still you have an individual experience, though tiny creatures that you can't see are determining how healthy you are, how well you are, how sane you are if you don't know this. Because I said this 20 years ago and I faced much ridicule on the social media for this, but today modern biome scientists are coming and saying that there is biome even in your brain. I said this 20 years ago, that there is biome in your brain. They made such fun of it, the textbooks, WhatsApp scientists, all of them, because they said, oh, brain has screens, no biome can enter, he doesn't know nothing. But today the top biome scientists in the world are saying, the biome that you have in your gut, their cousins are sitting in your brain. If you put something here that they don't like, they tell their cousins, fix this guy. And you will go through all kinds of things. I'm saying the very way you're experiencing your life is determined by microorganisms that you cannot see. So when this is the case, where is your individuality? Your individuality is a gift from creation, but you don't really have it. So you shouldn't overact your individuality. You must understand, men of uniform know this. In many ways, the whole military training is to subjugate your individuality to a larger phenomena. But that is one kind, but experientially, if you become like this, you are in yoga. What is the point of this? What is the point of human life? If you look at this, there is no point. This is why human beings struggle. Human beings are the only creatures on this planet who are looking for a meaning for their life and struggling with it. All other creatures are okay, breathing, eating, breeding, dying. They're all fine. See, just look at any other creature, stomach full, life settled. Hello? But once you're human, stomach empty, only one problem, stomach full, 100 problems. Why this is happening is, human life is structured in such a way that your life or being human begins only after survival is taken care of. For all other creatures, their life ends with survival. If survival processes are taken care of, if their instincts of survival are satisfied, they are fine with it. But for a human being, life begins only when these things are taken care of. That is when both the possibility and the problem of being human arises. What is the problem of being human? It is just that through the evolutionary process, you have been rendered to a place where you could be anything any moment. See, if you were born as a tiger, you would only be a tiger. If you ate well, you would become a good tiger. Hello? If you ate well, you became a good tiger. You were born as a human being. If you just eat well, you will not become a great human being. You may do many things to become a good human being, but still, you have children, they're growing up, the moment they become 14, 15, they tell you you're no good. They have not told you yet, they tell you. They tell their friends. Because it doesn't matter what you do, the project of being human is not complete. Because the project of being human is not in your doing. The very term that we are using, see, we did not call any other creature a being. We did not call an elephant, such a big creature, we don't call an elephant being, a ferocious tiger, we don't call a tiger being, a tiny ant, we don't call it an ant being, only you are human being. What this means is, you are not determined by the situations around you. You can decide how to be no matter what the situation is. All other creatures are compulsive, instinctive reaction to their surroundings, but you can decide how to be. This is why the general was saying, the greatest teaching in this country was given on the battlefield, because you're not an instinctive reaction, you're conscious. You can decide how to be. Doesn't matter it's a battlefield, maybe you will die the next moment, but you decide how to be. This is the privilege of being human, that you can decide how to be. I'm asking you a simple question. If you could decide how to be right now, would you choose to be in the highest state of pleasantness or unpleasantness for yourself? What you want for your neighbor may be debatable, that's different. What you want for your boss may be debatable, but what you want for yourself, highest state of pleasantness or unpleasantness? You must choose because I'm going to bless you. Pleasantness or unpleasantness? What is pleasantness? Well, lot of people think that, today even so-called spiritual teachers are going about saying the greatest thing in human life is peace of mind. Such people will only rest in peace. Because peace is not a great achievement, it is a fundamental requirement. Tonight, if you want to have dinner, if you want to enjoy your dinner, even if you are not ecstatic, at least you must be peaceful, isn't it? At least peaceful to enjoy the food that you eat. Even your dog does that, every creature does that, no big deal. But you have to be peaceful to enjoy the food that you eat. If you want to enjoy the company of the person who is sitting next to you right now, even if you're not dripping love, at least you must be peaceful. Hello?
Yes.
If you're trying to compete with me as to who is the yogi here, I can just stand like this without moving my eyeballs. Don't compete with me on this one. So, peace is not ultimate goal. Unfortunately, foolish people who do not even know how to be peaceful, who do not even know what animals know. All animals know if their stomach is full, they are peaceful, all right? If their basic instincts are fulfilled, they are quite peaceful. Even that much most human beings do not know. These fools have made this peace is the ultimate goal of life. This happened a few years ago. I was to speak in Tel Aviv. Oh, the media is here? Yeah, the media is recording? I was to speak in Tel Aviv and I'm flying out of Atlanta in United States. I was to land there around mid-morning and then speak at 6:30 in the evening. But I ended up, because of some flight delays, I ended up there at landing at 6 o'clock. I have this problem that in the last 40 years I have not been late to a single event. So, I can't go late. So what is this? This is a simple basic thing you must do. This is not some great thing to be achieved, being on time. Hello? This is not a great achievement. Everybody, what time they're supposed to be at a given place, they must be at that time, isn't it? Not some other time. Especially if you think you're very important, you must be ahead of everybody else. But all the fools who think they're important, they think they can come late. Because function can go on without them, they're not important. They don't understand that. So, I land at 6 o'clock in Tel Aviv and I'm quickly changing in the airport to get there on time. And I'm famished, I'm super hungry because I'm flying an American airline, nothing edible on the plane. They're throwing some dog parts at you. So, I'm really hungry. It's been over 14–15 hours. And then I get there, this never happens to me. But on that day, I'm speaking at a fine restaurant. Just the place to go. So I go there and people have already gathered, and as I go in, people are greeting me. One man comes and says, "Shalom." I ask him, what does it mean? He says, "It is the highest way of greeting." I said, "That's your opinion, what does it mean? Please tell me." No, this is really the highest way of greeting." I said, "It's all right, but please tell me, what does the word mean?" He said, "It means peace." Then I said, "See, why would peace be the highest way of greeting unless you're born in Middle East? In South India, somebody comes up to me in the morning and says, 'Peace.' I'll say, 'What's wrong with you?' I'm saying if you deny yourself something, it will all slowly rise to the heaven. Peace means people say divine peace. If you say love, they say God is love. If you say bliss, they say divine bliss. These are all human things. Hello? You can be peaceful, you can be loving, you can be blissful. All the miserable idiots have exported it to heaven. I'm saying how to bring it here. You willing? Because it's relevant here, we don't know whether it's relevant there or not. Is it relevant here? Among the people that you live, among the things that you do, to be peaceful, to be loving, to be joyful is very relevant. We don't know what the hell is needed there. So what is pleasantness? If your body becomes pleasant, we call this health. You want?
Yes.
See, I told you already, yes, no, silence, all three I will bless, it's up to you. Health, you want it?
Yes.
If it becomes very pleasant, we call it pleasure.
Yes.
Big yes there. If this mind becomes pleasant, we call it peace.
Yes.
If it becomes very pleasant, we call it joy.
Yes.
If these emotions become pleasant, we call this love.
Yes.
Becomes very pleasant, we call it compassion.
Yes.
If these very life energies become pleasant, we call this blissfulness.
Yes.
If it becomes very pleasant, we call it ecstasy.
Yes.
If our surroundings become pleasant, we call it success.
Yes.
Only to create pleasantness in our surroundings, we need the cooperation of people and forces around us. To create pleasantness of the body, pleasantness of the mind, pleasantness of emotion and energy is 100% your business. It's 100% your business. But the reason why most people are not pleasant within themselves is because he's like that, she's like this, somebody else is some other way. Essentially, they want the whole damn world the way they think it should be. No, the world will never be the way you want it should be. If you are sensible, many of you are married, so I'm asking you, at least have you found at least one person who happens 100% your way? Ladies are saying no. Men, have you found at least one person who is 100% the way you want them? No. These days, that's why a lot of people are choosing dogs. Because dog is supposed to be just the way you want. No, no, no. These days, they also do their own thing. When they are hungry, they are the way you want. When their stomach is full, they also do their own thing. Nobody, nothing in the universe will happen 100% your way. But this one life can happen your way. If this one happens your way, everything is fine with your life. The science of yoga is about this. It's not about changing that one, it's about changing this one. If this one life becomes just the way you want, all your problems are solved. In the world, we'll do our best. Some things we can do, some things we cannot do in the world. But one thing that will happen to you is, you are not the source of problem in your life. This one thing you must do. You cannot remove all the problems in the world. You should not be the problem in your life. If you yourself are an impediment, then what? Say, right now, please look at it. Even though you're in the army, when is the last time somebody stabbed at you? Never happened. See, nobody stabbed at you, they ignored you. The biggest poke that might have happened to you maybe is a mosquito. Nothing much happened. So rest of the poking is happening from within, self-help, this is called. Yes or no?
Yes.
Self-help, poking ourselves. Why? Because I'll ask you a simple question, yes, no, silence, all blessed. You want your intellect to be sharp or blunt?
Sharp.
Once you have a sharp instrument in your hand, then how conscious you are and how steady your hand is becomes very important. If you are that la 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 kind, intestines will come up. Why we do not give a sharp knife to a child's hand? Not because the knife is dangerous. Has it ever happened a knife jumped and stabbed someone? It is always an irresponsible hand or a negligent hand which does this. A child is not steady, that's why we don't give the knife. Not because knife is dangerous. Knife is just useful. If you don't know how to use it, everything is dangerous. Tell me one thing that is not dangerous in the world. Essentially, you must understand stupidity is dangerous, no matter where you are. So the dumbest thing you can do in your life is, you do self-torture. You can call this stress, you can call this anxiety, you can call this depression, you can call this whatever you want. There are 72 names for all these different varieties of suffering. Essentially, your intelligence is turned against you, that's all. If we remove half your brain, you will be peaceful. Yes? So right now, your brain is the problem. It has taken millions of years to evolve this to this level of capability. Hello? It has taken millions of years to evolve this to this level of capability, and now your brain is the problem. I'm sure you must have, some of you at least would have heard of this. About 4.5, 5 years ago, I think, a television anchor in Hyderabad, a reasonably popular television anchor, she jumped off the 5th floor of her apartment and killed herself. She left a note, "Nobody is responsible for my death, my brain is my enemy." Look at this. Please tell me, human suffering. Where is a manufacturing unit? Pune? Where is the manufacturing unit for human suffering? In your head? Just see. Because you got the most evolved brain, you have decided to use it to torture yourself and, if possible, a few other people around you. If you found some victims, them also, otherwise you. This way everybody must marry, you know. Otherwise you can't share it. Marriage is not about that. But if you are suffering, you will share it, isn't it? If you're joyful, you share it. If you're miserable, you share it. You can't help it. Whatever is your experience of life, you share it. So one of the fundamental responsibilities that you have for this life and every other life that's around you is, this is a pleasant life. This much you must do for yourself. What other great things you do or not is up to you. But at least you must do this much. If you sit here, your experience of life is pleasant. When nobody is poking you, at least when nobody is poking you. When somebody pokes you, how to deal with that? Sometimes we can deal with it, sometimes we cannot deal with it. But still you must understand, your suffering is manufactured from within. This much responsibility if we do not take, that we are not responsible for how we experience our life. What we do in the world may be determined by various forces, but how I experience my life is 100% my making, isn't it? It's 100% your making. If you take charge of this one, you have taken the first step of yoga. Oh, if this is first step, Sadhguru, it looks like the ultimate. It is not, it's the first step, because as a child, you were pleasant, isn't it? Hello? Yes. When you are 6, 7 years of age, somebody had to work hard to make you unhappy. Today, somebody has to work really hard to make you happy. When did the equation get reversed? If 5, 6 years of age, if you were that joyful, by the time you're 30, you must be ecstatic, if growth happened. But unfortunately, just the reverse has happened, not because adulthood is some miserable state. When you were a child, you desperately wanted to grow up as quickly as possible. Yes or no? Yes. Because you saw that as your freedom, you saw that as that's the way to live. But now, everybody says, childhood was so beautiful. If you want, I'll shrink you. I'll shrink you to the age when you were 6, 7 years of age, both in body and brain. You want it? If you just stayed at that age, both in body and brain, we wouldn't say that you are fantastic, we would say you are retarded. I know it's a very strong word, but that's a fact. So, what is wrong with this life? Nothing wrong. It is like if you… these 2 fingers start poking at your eyeballs, well, you have no control over your hand and the hand is doing this, then we will have to restrict the hand. If it doesn't work, we have to tie it up to the chair. If it doesn't work, we may have to amputate the hand. Right now, that's all that's happening with your intelligence. It is jumping and poking you all the time, simply because there has been no education, either in your family or in the society or in the culture, which was the USP of this civilization at one time. Today, there is no education to tell you how to manage this one. Everybody wants to conquer the world. Not only the world, they want to conquer the WWW, all the 3 worlds. They're all conquering the world, you know, on their phone screens. No, this is… if you take charge of this world, we will do to the best of our capability. But if you do not take charge of this, even what you can do, you will not do. In our lives, if we do not do what we cannot do, that's not the issue. But if we do not do what we can do, we are a disastrous life. So to avoid this disaster, the bridge is yoga. Yoga does not mean just physical things, just to change the very chemistry of who you are. You understand this today with modern medicine and stuff, that human experience is very much rooted in the chemistry. What you call as peace is one kind of chemistry, what you call as joy is another kind of chemistry. I think with love you understand, everybody says chemistry, chemistry. Hello? Your experience of life, whether it's joy or misery, has a chemical basis to it. Agony or ecstasy has a chemical basis to it. Pain or pleasure has a chemical basis to it. Here we are talking about a science.